Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamer Dad, with another video for you. So first off, I'd like to give a shout out to one of my Patreon supporter, Ranios. Thanks for your support. Now in this video, we're going to go over the farming results over the last 3 weeks or so. And I'm hoping, of course, that all of you are still playing regularly, using your red and green keys, of course, and trying to get some great drops such as Treatise, Chants, and, codexes as well. Now, in the beginning of the video, you did see my third Minerva's Treatise, and so I am only 2 away from upgrading ASMU. And of course, as I've always said before, I only upgrade units once I need them for a particular purpose, either by taking down the super boss or maybe to fill a hole in my roster. Now, one thing I actually wanted to talk about in this video that's a little bit different from other videos is that if you've noticed, of course, content in Another Eden over the last 5 or 6 weeks has been a little bit quieter. Not to say it's lacking or anything, and I'm not blaming the devs or producers in any way, shape, or form. The result is that, as we're catching up to Japan, a lot of these new contents are based on, for example, on new banners, and there are some chapter quests for Mythos in the meantime. However, the main thing is that as you see more and more powerful banners and more, sped up time frame as well, you know that we are having a difficult time in saving all those chronostones. And, let's be honest, as we grind all those red and green keys at times, it does feel like, you're going to hit a little bit of a burnout. And even for myself, as Gamer Dad, creating content, playing games, having a lot of, even fun things that I did with Scott, for example, with Another Eden Global, it's still difficult at times to keep motivated and, just keep on grinding, keep on with the plan, save up your stones, waiting for Nikoko, for example, and Goddess Time. I know a lot of us are waiting for that, as well as for Chapter 10 of the Mythos, which, thank goodness, if you've followed the subreddit, you'll know that the drop for Chapter 10 should be in the next week or so. So we do have a lot of cool content to be coming after that. But back to Burnout. I mean, when you're playing all the time, and even from I'm sure you are feeling the same way. Those keys, they become endless. I mean, and sometimes the wall of trying to get all those chants and treatises and saving up stones, and at times you can be disappointed after, summoning, and you're like, why? Why am I continuing to play this? And, you really have to reflect upon what's really great about the game, and, hopefully not focus too much on character acquisition, because, at the end of the day, a gacha's a gacha, and that can be a source of a lot of frustration for most of us. Now, when you do feel a little bit burned out, one thing I would recommend, obviously, is to, if you have to, you can take a break from the game, or, try to not focus 100% on the grind itself. For example, if the keys are too much where you're like, oh, I have to grind so much XP for my manifest. Honestly, just do a couple of speed runs. Don't have to fight everything. Equip 3, minus badges for encounters. Speed your way through, finish all those keys up in like 10 minutes, and then, call it quits for the day. You can always play tomorrow. And the one great thing about Another Eden, which keeps me coming back, and I'm sure all of you feel this way, the content is permanent, and all banners, although they are limited, those units are essentially permanent in the future at reduced rates. So no one really have to worry about FOMO or the fear of missing out on any particular unit. Not to mention, for example, we've talked about many times the chance of upgrading or side grading a lot of powerful units as you progress through the game, like ourselves, where you're grinding all these chants and treatises. One other note I will say about grinding chants and treatises that can be frustrating for a lot of us is that we're like, oh, we really need, for example, the ASMU. We really need the AS Tiramisu. We really need the AS this or AS that. The thing is, most of us who are either free to play or light spenders, we probably have multiple units that we can upgrade at any one time, and we're either short on chants or treatises, or at times both. And one suggestion I would say is that instead of saying, oh, I don't know how I'm going to upgrade all these characters, just almost like have a lot of different projects running at once, so you don't feel as if you are not succeeding at the game, or kind of held back, so to speak. For example, I'm still looking for treatises for Yuan AS, Hismina AS, Miu AS. Obviously, I'm still looking for codexes for Melina ES. And so there's like 4 or 5 different units that I would really be happy about side grading or upgrading. And if you put it that way, almost every week or 2, you're going to get some progress towards 1 or more of those units, either through a treatise/codex, or you'll get a chant, and a chant can be used for pretty much any upgrade. So these are the things I've kind of kept on telling myself as I play through the game. And when there's some days where you're just not really feeling up to it, I mean, I'm hoping that will be a source of motivation for you. Otherwise, like I said, you can always put down the game, relax, and come back another time. And I'm hoping actually, as you continue watching my videos, hopefully, or checking out the subreddit or other sources of the game itself, you'll find different stories where they will motivate you. And in the case of myself showing some of these drops, I'm hoping these videos are actually, almost like not really a lesson, but certainly just sharing with you, as you put in work through the game, how much you can actually achieve in 3 weeks. Like, this is only like 3 weeks, and you can see the number of treatises drop, the number of chants drop. And again, I realize that RNG is RNG, and that you're not going to have, the same results week by week. But, if you're doing this consistently every week, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, a month later, you'll be like, wow, I'm much closer, or I've achieved a new unit. And I think that's what gets us coming back to the game. Finally, one last thing I'll say about saving up those chronostones and being disappointed with pulls, for example. Hey, that's just part of RNG, part of gacha, and I'm hoping that, for example, we'll have some those whispers of time, aka sprinkles of salt, maybe to spice things up. We know that in chapter 10 we'll have a new luring shadow drop where we're going to get a free 5-star at the end of chapter 10 for completing the mythos. So there's a new 5-star for us to be hopefully looking forward to. And like I said, we are still trying to slowly save up stones for the banners of our choice. Anyways, you can let me know in the comments below what you think about my comments about potentially burning out of the game, how you're feeling about the game, or if you're bored with the game. Bored and Burnout I was considered to be very similar, but not exact. Either way, it's almost like a little bit of apathy for the game. And again, not to say the game is bad in any way. It's just that at times, things are a little bit quieter, and we can take the time to relax. In the case of the weather, we can go out and have some fun. Maybe go out with family, depending on where you are. Enjoy the weather, and so on and so forth. Anyways, back to the game, and sorry for my rambling. We are finally gotten our first Susanoo Treatise. And of course that is for AS Shigiri. So as you've watched through the video, you can see I've made some progress in a lot of my units. I think I have my 3rd Minerva, so like I said, 2 more. I think I have my 3rd Adabar, which is for AS Hismina, so 2 more. And as you watch through this video, you'll also see that I do get my 3rd codex as well for ES Melina. So again, 2 more. So the great thing about that is that, of course, once you have 3, you do have the option of buying the last 2 from the Siberius gems via the Emporium. And again, if you're wondering why I haven't or don't want to, the thing is, as you can see, if you're buying it at 200 gems a shot, and even for myself having so many with, I think something like 1600, that's only 8 treatises. I mean, if I upgraded 4 units, that's the end of it. So that's another reason I really try not to. Not to mention that I really do enjoy celebrating each and every drop. Even as I see hundreds and hundreds of drops, over the weeks and years that I played, every single drop is exciting, although seeing, a 16th Mikahayahi is not the most exciting, nor the 20th, say, High Priestess Treatise that I've gotten. These are not the best. So I'm sure you feel the same way as myself. Also, I'd like to hear from you what progress you've made on your units, if you've side graded or upgraded anyway, awesome. And, hopefully sharing some stories with me as well. And there you go. That's the 3rd Adabar Treatise. So very excited to eventually add AS Hismina to my team. I do have the Uella, and I do think that Uella works really well as support in a water Lance team, being that, of course, having AS Forn as your 3rd unit, you can really substitute a 4th Pierce unit, aka your support like AS Leclerc or some other unit like that. Magnum Rex is still not too bad to get at this point in the game. Still a way to create a stronger VC Grasta for AS Claude, and I realized that AS Claude is a little bit different from having an AS Vena. Still pretty excited to get that. Again, the small victories, right? Now, in this part of the video, I know that a lot of you are still grinding for Aldo's Light. Now, if you're wondering what I'm doing, most of my red keys, if not all of them, are currently still focused on Clark. And as you know, at the time of this video, we have now, have access to Chapter 9. And so I'm, at the early part to the mid part of this video, I'm still in the Crystal region, and now I am in the Shade region, trying to get more Shadow for Clark. I'm preparing for his AS, and I really do want to have the 120 Shadow in order to unlock the second badge, being that AS Clark seems to be a very powerful unit. And if you're wondering why I'm focusing that over, say, Aldo, first of all, I do have 360 light by using other team members, and he's already in the mid 200s anyways. Whereas for the 120, you really want to unlock that second badge upgrade. For example, you can use it for XP, or in the case of having 2 intelligence badges or speed badges, that works out really well. And so right here, we have finally gotten to 105 Shadow at the time of this video. So this is really, really good. And you can see at 105, we've made the next break point where we got some extra stats for him, some extra HP from what I remember. And so only 15 left for the badge extension. Not to mention, of course, I've said this in other videos, but Shadow units are actually less plentiful than light units. And so most of us actually have Shadow issues where we may not be able to create a 360 Shadow team. I don't know if they're ever going to require a 360 Shadow. Right now they allow either light or Shadow. But let's be honest, in the future anything can happen, and I realize we're months away from Japan, and Japan still doesn't have a 360 Shadow requirement. But let's be honest, as the game progresses, I want to be ready for everything. This is my third codex for ES Melina. So I did mention that a little bit earlier in the video, but yes, right here, right now, there it is. And that is awesome. On another note, you've heard my middle son comment on my videos, and that's the one who has the Philo, which I know I still haven't done the 5-star review on him. Kind of been busy with other projects, unfortunately, and like I said earlier, the aforementioned apathy towards the game temporarily. I will get that done, I promise you, as soon as I can. That being said, he finally single summoned and pulled on the last day of ES Melina, and he's gotten it. So that's really, really awesome, and I'm really, really happy for him in that case. Now, here's one thing that I have done that's a little bit interesting. Now, for those who don't know, the manifest for AS Iska should be coming when Melody is released. Now, Taiwan's live stream just came out recently, and I believe we're getting Chapter 10 first. But otherwise, we would have gotten Melody's banner, and Melody's banner would have come with AS Iska's manifest. In this case, I'm going to prepare ahead of time, side grade to AS Iska, and then grind out the manifest for her normal style. Because I had the 4-star version, I can access that battle for Innocence even with the AS. And so I'm just grinding out that XP slowly. And once, of course, AS Iska's manifest drops, I will be doing the first battle for that, as well as grinding that out. Now, AS Iska is going to be really awesome as a slash unit for wind. And one of her main abilities is that she's going to have a really significant debuff, dual debuffer, mind you. So, when you're trying to survive against really powerful units, that int power dual debuff is going to be awesome. Not to mention, AS Iska looks elegant and awesome. You can ask Paulo about that. As well, she's going to deal out the damage. And so I know that Wind has no issues dealing tons of damage, but let's be honest, more damage, more slash, why the heck not? Remember what I said about High Priestess Treatises, right? Look at that. I think I've gotten 3 or 4 in the last 3 weeks, if not more. And so, yeah, they're just sitting there. Hey, maybe in the future, we're going to have an exchange where we can do like 5 or 10 treatises for one that we would like. Again, I don't expect that to ever occur, but that would be pretty awesome. And I'm sure that a lot of us will take really good advantage of that. Hey, another chance script. There you go. That was actually off live stream because I think for one weekend I did not do a live stream and I used one of the tickets, and got 1 transcript before fighting the final boss in that stage. And this is my 3rd Libitina Treatise. So again, unlocking the ability to pay the 2 to side grade for AS Alulu. I did come across a 4.5 normal style Alulu a while ago off banner. So yeah, that's pretty exciting as well. Not sure if and when I'm going to be doing that, but hey, that will do and work really well with, of course, Katana / team, such as, you guessed it, Hiasiska. And again, I know that Alulu is an axe, but still, wind is wind. And wind will always win. Haha. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.